Hi everyone, Aish with Retro Handhelds. On today's video, we're going to be covering some Steam Deck accessories, but before we get into that, just really quick, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you haven't done so already, go check out our socials. Alright, well you just got a Steam Deck and are you wondering what you can get to get the most out of it? Well, in this video, I'm going to be covering what I think is going to be the most essential things. Okay, so if you're like me and you got the 64GB Steam Deck, the first thing you're going to want to get is a big SD card. So what I have here is a Samsung Pro Plus 512GB SD card, and there you go. You're going to want something fast, so that's why I went with this one. It was also on sale for about, I think, $55. So this is a great deal. I had a 256 gig gift card around here, but I don't think 256 is enough for the Steam Deck, and I think 1TB is too much, because at that point I just end up having a bunch of games that I'm not even playing. They're just there. This is a happy medium where I have plenty of space for everything I want, but at the same time I'm not going to be hoarding a bunch of things that I don't actually intend on playing. All right, the next thing we're going to be talking about is a power bank. You're definitely going to want something like this, and we're going to get a little bit in depth on this one. This right here is a Shargeek Storm 2 Slim. This is a beast of a power bank, and actually spent a little bit of time talking about this one. The Shargeek Storm 2 Slim is a 20,000 milliamp rechargeable battery that has a lot of great features, and just by looking at it, you can tell that a lot of care went into making this. On the side, you're going to have your two USB ports. So you have your USB-A and your USB-C. That's what you're going to be using to get power out and power into the power bank. On the front, we have our little display here, and we're going to get how many watts are coming in and out. You're going to get your volts, your temperature, all of that displayed right off the bat. So if we hold this down, we're going to be taken to a little menu here, and here you're going to get some battery info. Again, your temperature. You're going to be able to choose if you want it in Celsius or Fahrenheit. Timer, how long you want it to stay on before it turns off. You have some display settings right over here. Here's where you can power it off, or we can go right back to the main display. So that's just what's outside of it. That's what you're going to be interacting with. But let's talk a little bit about what's inside of it. This power bank can provide up to 130 watts, and that's 100 watts out of the USB-C port and 30 out of the A. And you can actually have two devices plugged in at the same time and still get 130 watts out, because it's not going to be losing any power even if you have two things connected to it. It uses something called Energy Management OS to provide appropriate power to any device, preventing any type of overheating or overcharging. Basically, it saves you all the headaches about worrying, is my device getting the right amount of power? Is it too much? Is it going to overcharge? It's fireproof, water and corrosion resistant, and it never gets hot. So you can throw this into your bag, take it with you, and you don't have to worry about it. This is also safe to go on planes. So if you're going to be taking your Steam Deck on a long flight, this is a perfect companion to that. I've used this plugged into my Steam Deck and played for about an hour and a half. I was actually emulating Breath of the Wild, which can be pretty demanding. And I got an hour and a half. The power bank dropped to about 60%, but my Steam Deck was still at 100. So you could probably squeeze about 3 extra hours of battery life out of this. No problem. It's going to provide fast charging for anything you need. So not just your Steam Deck, but if you have a laptop, you have a phone, anything, this will charge it and you don't have to worry about it. It's always going to provide the appropriate amount of energy to those devices. And besides all those features, it's just a great looking power bank. Now, this one is a little bit bigger, it's a little bit beefier, so I wouldn't have it attached to the Steam Deck, but luckily it comes with a very high quality cable, so you can just plug this to your Steam Deck, set it aside, and just don't worry about it. This is not going to get hot, it's not going to bother you, you can just forget about it and get a whole lot of playtime out of your Steam Deck. Okay, the next thing you're definitely going to want to get is going to be a dock. So this is the unitek 6-in-1 dock, and let's talk a little bit about this one. Okay, so this right here is a unitek 6-in-1 dock. It features one HDMI 2.0 port that does 60 at 4K, one USB-C PD port that does up to 100 watts, 3 USB 3.0 ports, and one 1000 megabits Ethernet port. So if you want to get the most out of your Steam Deck, this is definitely an accessory that you want to have, and there's a lot of docks you can pick from. I have the unitek right here, and one thing I really like about this one is it's very light, it's compact, but it fits my Steam Deck with a grip on. So I don't have to worry about taking it off. It's one less step that I have to do to get my games on the bigger screen, which is great. Now, if you want to turn your Steam Deck into some type of Switch or full-on PC device, then a dock is a must-have. This one is a pretty affordable one. There's going to be a link down below if you're interested in picking it up, but it just opens up a lot more for your Steam Deck. If you want to use it as a full PC, then you got to have it. There's some other benefits too. So if you want to download larger games and you want to do it with a faster connections, chances are that physical connection that you can be able to get with the dock is going to be faster than your Wi-Fi connection. So it's going to make downloading those games a little bit faster. Also, if you want to transfer larger files and you don't want to have to worry about your battery or how long it's going to take, just use those USB 3.0 ports at the back, drag and drop. There you go. You're good to go. So here I have two other things. I have my keyboard and I have a controller. Now the controller I'm going to talk more about here in a little bit, but the keyboard I actually don't have as an essential item. Reason for that is that the Steam Deck is going to have everything you need to set it up already built in. So this is just a nice little quality of life thing. If you want to use it, makes it a little bit easier. That way you don't have to be popping up the on-screen keyboard, but it's not a must-have. If you do want to use your Steam Deck as a full-on PC, then yeah, you're going to need a full-size keyboard and a mouse. But again, those are not going to be essential things that we must have for a Steam Deck. So we're going to leave those out of this video. Like I said, if you want to pick up this dock, link is going to be down below. Okay, so we have our power bank, we have our dock. Next up, we're gonna want a controller, because if we're gonna be docking our Steam Deck, we're gonna want something to play on the couch with. This is gonna be a must-have. Now, most people, I'm assuming, are gonna be using something like an Xbox controller. I had this one laying around way back from when I used to play on my phone and on the tablet. I love this thing. It has programmable back pedals to any of the face buttons. It has analog triggers. It connects to the Steam Deck right away. Now, big for me is it has a conductive rubber D-pad, so no clickiness. I just really like this controller because the battery lasts forever, because it also doubles as a power bank. Now, don't expect this to feed the Steam Deck. That's just a nice little feature that it has, but you can use your Xbox controllers or whatever other controllers you like to use on your PC. This is just the one that I had laying around and it just so happened to work perfectly, so I just keep it around for the Steam Deck now. Now, the next dedicated accessory that I want to talk about is going to be a grip for your Steam Deck, a cover. Now, this isn't really necessary, but I just think it's more comfortable that way. The Steam Deck without it felt a little bit slippery. I've considered getting one of those skins, but I'm just not sure if I want to, stick something onto the Steam Deck. This just slides right in. It gives me a little bit of extra grip on it, and it just makes me feel like it's a little bit more protected in case I ever drop it. I don't expect to do that. Let's hope it never happens, but just in case. Okay, so the final thing I want to talk about is going to be some type of companion for your Steam Deck. And what I mean by a companion is some type of smaller handheld for those easier to run games, something like the RG35XX that I have right here. By the way, this is a cover that you can find linked down below. There's also a discount code for it. This adds a nice amount of protection to it while still keeping it very pocket friendly. So if you're interested in something like this, check out the link down below. Anyway, the RG35XX, or like I said, the Mini, anything like that that plays those easy to emulate systems, it just goes really well with your Steam Deck, because I don't know about you, but I don't really want to play Game Boy Advance or Game Boy or even really Super Nintendo on my Steam Deck. I would rather keep that on something like this, something light or something cheap that I can take with me, that I'm not going to worry about if anything's going to happen to it, that I can just throw in my pocket. So these little guys make a great addition to any really bigger system like your PlayStation, Xbox, Steam Deck, anything like that you just want easier to run stuff on. Something like this, great for that. All right, well, that's going to wrap the video up, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you got some good info from it. Let me know if you like this new format where I'm actually kind of showing my face and talking to you instead of just having the device in the hands, or if you prefer the other format. Be sure to let us know in the comments so I kind of know what type of videos you're going to enjoy more. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.